Hello, everyone. It's Father Bob Gross. I hope you're doing well. I'm filming in a part of my house that I've never filmed a homily for. Today is the fourth Sunday of Advent, and it's beginning of the wonderful grace to celebrate all these masses, to offer praise to God for the end of Advent and the celebration of Christmas. So today we had our first two masses at 4 and 6 o'clock for the fourth Sunday of Advent, and tomorrow we have 8 and 10 for the fourth Sunday of Advent. And then it's three masses tomorrow afternoon and evening for Christmas Eve, and then we roll into Christmas Day. It's just, it's a lot, but it's the whole time we're giving praise to God. I think it's good. So I want to share with you now the fourth Sunday of homily, fourth Sunday of Advent homily, and hopefully get my Christmas homily up when I have the time after Christmas. So I hope this holds you over till Christmas. So here's what I came up and shared with the folks tonight. There's a strong sense among us men and women to honor those who have done great things. There's a sense of gratitude and admiration for the good that people do, even to the point of risking their lives. I can think of three examples of people that we honor often because of our admiration for them: soldiers, first responders, police officers, and athletes. For me, I'm thinking about Aaron Rodgers right now. The people who defend our freedom, the people who help us when we are helpless, and the people who have such a special skill or talent from the Lord in sport are really the ones that we honor in our society. That's why we have medals, that's why we have ceremonies that honor them, that's why we have halls of fame for those folks. We admire the good that they do. But for me, this begs the question of what makes a person great. Here's some possible answers you could offer. Number one, they have put their lives in the service of something greater than themselves. I've heard a soldier say that once. Number two, they have risked their lives to save others. That's pretty admirable. And thirdly, they have shown a great ability, a talent that is special, that shows the beauty of what God can do in a person, probably for sports. Those answers are good, but they're ultimately not satisfying. What does it mean to be a great man or a woman? I think today's gospel is the answer, and it is the opposite of this world's definition of greatness. Today, in the Blessed Virgin Mary, we have the greatest example of greatness, and it boils down to one thing and one thing only. Mary is the greatest expression of human freedom at its best. Mary is the greatest expression of human freedom at its best. You know, freedom is one of the most cherished things we have in life. It's the value that founded our country, the freedom to determine our own lives. But when you look at the message, when you look at the message of the Bible, though, you see the tragic story of men and women misusing their freedom and the sin and the collateral damage that comes because of it. The wounds of our sins, the wounds of our lives, the wounds of our relationships, the wounds of our suffering, all come in one way or another from the choices that we freely make or the choices that others have made that affect us. Today, though, we hear the moment when Mary was given a free choice, and she chose the best part. She chose humility, obedience, openness to God. She chose the maximum in following God and not the bare minimum, and that has made all the difference. Mary's choice gave us the Son of God. And in her example and yes to God, she shows what you and I are capable of when we are open to God and respond to His grace and surrender to His will and let go of that self-determining freedom that seems to be the source of happiness in life. I think so many times we are often trying just to get by in life. We're trying to do the bare minimum because in many ways, the bare minimum is all that we can handle. The cynical take on life is that life is a rat race that we all have to keep up with the expectations of life. My family life has to be this way. My marriage ought to look this way. Why can't work be more like this? Then we have the expectations of family and community. Then there are the unexpected and unsaid expectations of our culture. We have to look a certain way, have certain possessions, keep up in competition with each other, achieve a certain status in our community. Being well respected in the community, and if we don't, we have the shame of being that family with those problems. And then when you think of the church, you sometimes can be cynical and say that it's about rules and avoiding hell. The cynic can discourage us when they say, I see that person every week in church and then I see how they act outside of church. And at the same time, seeing people who don't go to church and they actually live like Christians. Those voices can affect us deeply. They can rob us of our joy and of our faith. They can lead us off the path of salvation. But today we see in Mary another path, the path of true freedom, of living to the expectation that God had for Mary, and that is fidelity and love and nothing else. Mary is all of us at our best. When we are most faithful, we are living like Mary. When we are most patient with others, we are living like Mary. When we are forgiving each other's faults and not holding grudges and hatreds, we are living like Mary. When we are answering God's call to holiness, we are living like Mary. When we are prayerful and reflective people, we are living like Mary. On this weekend, right before Christmas, we have a chance to reflect on the human race at its best. In the one person, in the person of the Blessed Virgin Mary, the Mother of God. And we have to be reminded of this often, that God is simple. God is a lover. God simply wants to be accepted, cherished, and loved. And He in turn gives us perfect joy and happiness in the kingdom of heaven. It is that simple, but it's hard to follow because it calls us to see what expectations we are living by. Are we truly living by the expectation of the Lord? You see, Mary did, and that's what clarified life for her. It was what made her so attractive to be around. It was what makes her the most powerful intercessor for all of our Christian lives. So what does it mean to be a great person? Here's the recipe. Number 1, fidelity to God with no buts. Humility so that God can exalt us. And surrender instead of controlling your life. That's the recipe for Christian greatness, and we see that in the Blessed Virgin Mary in today's gospel. And the beautiful thing is that God did it in Mary, and He wants to do it in us. We have to cooperate with it, but if we do, we experience gratitude and the joy of being in relationship with God. So let's seek that crown, that Lombardi trophy, that grace, instead of what greatness is offered in this life. Mary said, Behold, I am the handmaid of the Lord. May it be done to me according to your word. Thank you, Mother Mary, for your yes. And may God bless you.